All the gentlemen here, when you see a beautiful lady, what did you do? Trying to get their phone number? Same thing. Our mind, aloka, and any other dog, same thing. When he see anything move, he always go after it, right? And our mind is actively doing all that because we are living without mindfulness. Our habit is to head it out on every directions. All directions, our mind is going out like that, rapidly. And the more we do in that, the more we build a bad habit for ourselves. And that bad habit has been with us for a long time. That we looking at things, we hear things, we smell, we taste, we touch, and we think about things. All these are attachments. And unfortunately, as human beings, we always go towards all these things and attach a lot of things to our life. And that is when we suffer. Because of unmindful. Because of unmindful. So for us to train ourselves to be mindful, there's no other way. But we have to teach us from the beginning, just like a baby, just like teaching aloka. How to sit, when to stay. Because when our mind popping up with a thought, we always chase after it. We go after it, go all in with it, right? Any type of thought, bad, good. But to tell you the sadness thing is, we always think about the bad things, most of the time. Especially when our mind is free, nothing to do. We tend to think of all the bad things. Because we don't have a lot of good things to think of. Even if we do, our mind still wanted to think of all the bad things, and we try to find things for us to do, which is not wholesome. That is the problem when we let our mind be free without a job to do. Because this mind is always active, like a monkey. Like a monkey. So now, instead of following all those thoughts, when we see our mind popping up with a thought, we should tuck on that leash and say, nope. Just like training the dog, we tell ourselves that, I see you. You're there, you're popping up now, I see you now. Don't go anywhere, stay here. Stay here. Just like telling the dog to stay, telling our mind to stay here within this breath. That breath, that concentration is the least to pull us back here. To pull us back here. To live with this present moment, each and every breath going in and out. That's it. That's all we need to do. But we fail many times. We could not stay focused within this breath. Why is that? Because we don't have this habit. Our habit is to head out, remember? Think of everything. We don't want to stay at this one place. It's boring. The most boring thing in this world is meditating for our mind. Because the mind is actively, right? Active. They don't want to stay at one place doing just breathe in and breathe out. Very boring. And that is why whenever we breathe in, breathe out, the thought pop up, we chase after that thought. And we sit there, imagine more things, we add a lot more things into that thought. Just one thought pop up, You follow that thought. Now you add a lot of different colors to it. You sit and then paint the whole life of yourself. After 1 hour sessions of meditating, you have nothing but the whole painting of your life because of our thought, our imagination. We probably have only 1 minute of mindfulness on our breath. That is for beginners. Is there anything wrong with it? No. Nothing wrong with it. That is normal. Because our mind is not trained to stay here. Right? So now we need to train our mind to stay here. Don't go anywhere. Don't chase after the objects. Just stay focused. Stay here with each and every breath going in and out. Aware of that breath going in and out. Earlier when we practice, we breathe in, the thought pop up, and we didn't even see that we have the thought. We just follow it. There are a couple people fall asleep. This is also normal for all yogis at the beginning. When you practice meditation, you fall asleep. This is very normal. Nothing wrong with it. It's because we are not mindful with our breath. And remember, boring. When it's boring, when it's bored, we'll go to sleep. We will turn our mind into the sleeping mode. And then after that, if like a Buddhist monk or something hit on that bell, bang, now you wake up. Oh, that's it? 1 hour already? Wow, we had a really good sleep, right? It's okay too. Nothing wrong with that either. As long as you know that you are sleeping. It's okay. Try it again. We just have to keep trying. Every day you add 1 minute. Let's say today you be able to focus only 1 minute within this breath. 59 minutes sleeping. It's okay. Okay, tell yourself, it's okay, baby. You'll be fine, all right? The next sessions, try to add another minute. Try to stay focused. The more you stay focused, the better you are. You're not going to fall asleep. Okay? Because of not concentrating, that is why you fall asleep, because it's bored. Now, the next sessions, try to add another minute to it. And then the next sessions, 1 more minute, keep adding on to it. Then sooner or later, you will have the whole session 1 hour without sleeping. Because now your mind, your concentration is getting stronger and stronger here. Okay? So when you be able to focus here, your whole body, your mind will be relaxed. When it's relaxed, you get the benefit of it. At the beginning, probably we force ourselves a lot because of not used to it. But don't worry about it. If you fail, if you force yourself, just relax and try. Keep trying. You will fail every single time when you sit, but it's okay. As I said, this is normal for human beings. This is the mind. Untrained is like that. That is why we need time to train our mind. Just like a baby. When we teach our child, when that baby crawling from here to that corner, you know that is dangerous. You go there and pick up the baby and put it back here, bring it back here and say, stay here, baby, don't go anywhere. It's dangerous. And then the baby crawl into that direction. You go there and take the baby back. Our mind is our baby. You should love your mind and treat the mind just like that. Your mind just like that. When your mind goes elsewhere, just take it back. Tell that baby to stay, don't go. Stay, don't go, stay, don't go. If we keep doing that little by little, your concentration will be stronger and stronger each and every time. Once you have this concentration built up, it means that you are mindful. When you are mindful, your schoolwork will turn out way better than when you are not mindful. And you will not put yourself into stress mode. As a student, you stress a lot, isn't it? Yes? Please tell me yes louder. I've been there, done that. My niece and my nephew and a lot of students at our temple are doing the same. Their hair turned gray. Their eyes turned black. They could not sleep. They tried to stay up all night to study. And at the end, they couldn't make it. Because it's just stress. The more you do it, the more you force yourself, the more stress you get. And after you are stressed, you become anxiety and depression. You could not finish your school. Is that right? All that is because we are not mindful. We don't know what to do, how to deal with things, and how to stay focused. If you be able to stay focused within your study, it's totally different. It's because when we try to stay focused, and a lot of things pull us off, pulls our minds off, a lot of thinking. Our mind have a lot of thinking during we studying. So the more thinking popping up, the more you're off track. How can we learn? How can we do our work, our schoolwork? And that is when we have stress, right? At that moment, if you're mindful enough, you know this is not going to work out, then you will stop. You will not force yourself anymore. You will take some minutes for yourself to relax. Take a deep breath. Deep breath, deep breath. As many deep breaths as you want, because the air is free. When you take a deep breath, it fills up your lungs, relax your whole body, and relax your mind. If you could do that, if you still be able to remember that relax, deep breath is needed now, do it. When you do it, it will change your thought, change your mindset, change everything. After that, concentrate on your breathing. 1 minute, 5 minutes, depends on how long you want to spend with it. But spend some time with your breathing. Focus in it to purify your mind. But don't expect the outcome. No expectation whatsoever. Just practice, just do it. The results will come after. The more you expect, the more the result will run away. Okay? It will not come to us if we expect. So just be mindful with it, practice breathing. Then after that, you could go back to your schoolwork. Continue solving the problem. But at this time, you will be in the relaxed mode, not stress.
In our beautifully complex, fast-paced modern world, it is so incredibly easy to lose ourselves in the sheer momentum of living. We wake up, and before our feet even touch the bedroom floor, our attention is already being pulled in a dozen different directions. We are constantly surrounded by movement, noise, and stimulation. Our habit, developed over a lifetime of interacting with this vibrant world, is to project our awareness outward. We look at things, we listen to the endless hum of media and conversation, we smell the coffee brewing, we taste our rushed breakfasts, we touch the glowing screens of our devices, and we think ceaselessly about what comes next. In many ways, our untrained minds behave very much like an energetic, overly excited puppy. When a puppy is out for a walk and sees anything move, a squirrel, a falling leaf, another dog, it immediately pulls on the leash, desperate to chase after it. Similarly, when we see something attractive or interesting, our minds immediately rush toward it, eager to grasp it, to attach to it, and to make it ours. Our thoughts dart outward in all directions, rapidly and without rest. This outward chasing is how we have learned to exist, but it is also the very root of our exhaustion. Because we live so much of our lives without mindful presence, we build and reinforce a deeply ingrained habit of distraction. We attach ourselves to the endless stream of sensory experiences and fleeting desires, and in doing so, we unwittingly invite suffering into our lives. We become tethered to things outside of our control, allowing our inner peace to be dictated by the ever-changing landscape of the external world. This habit of outward grasping becomes profoundly evident when the external world finally quiets down and we are left alone with ourselves. You might think that a moment of free time, a rare pause with nothing pressing to do, would bring immediate relief. Yet, for an untrained mind, empty space can feel incredibly uncomfortable. Because our minds are as active and restless as a monkey swinging wildly from branch to branch, they demand a job to do. If we do not give the mind a wholesome task, it will inevitably find an unwholesome one. The saddest and most relatable truth of our human experience is that when our minds are left to wander freely, they almost always default to thinking about bad things. We worry about the future, we ruminate on the past, and we fixate on our insecurities. When a single thought pops up into our awareness, we rarely just let it pass. Instead, we chase after it. We follow that single, fleeting thought and begin to add our own elaborate colors to it. We sit there in the quiet and paint an entire, overwhelming mural of our lives based on a single moment of anxiety or fear. We imagine worst-case scenarios, we replay old arguments, and we construct mountains out of molehills. You can sit down with the intention of resting for an hour, but because of this runaway imagination, you might spend 59 minutes lost in a stressful mental painting, with perhaps only one single minute of actual, peaceful awareness. This is the nature of the untrained mind, and while it is the source of much of our daily anxiety, it is also completely normal. There is absolutely nothing fundamentally wrong with you for experiencing this. It is simply the default state of a mind that has not yet been taught how to stay still. To heal this exhaustion and find true peace, we must begin the gentle, patient work of training our minds to stay. We must offer our restless awareness a safe place to land, so that it no longer feels the need to chase every passing object or paint elaborate stories out of thin air. This is where the practice of mindfulness enters our lives, not as a rigid or punishing discipline, but as a loving tether. Just as you would train that eager puppy, you must learn to gently tuck the leash of your attention when you feel it wandering away. When a thought inevitably pops up, whether it is a memory of yesterday or a worry about tomorrow, you do not have to fight it or get angry at yourself. Instead, you simply acknowledge it. You say to your mind, "I see you. I see that you are popping up right now, but you do not need to go anywhere. Stay here." The anchor we use to keep the mind present is our breath. The simple, rhythmic sensation of the breath going in and coming out is the gentle leash that pulls us back to the reality of the present moment. By focusing on each inhalation and exhalation, we give our active minds a wholesome job to do. We ask it to simply be aware of the life force flowing through us. It sounds almost too simple to be effective, and yet, staying focused on the breath is one of the most challenging things we can ask ourselves to do. We fail time and time again because we are asking a mind that has spent decades running outward to suddenly sit quietly at home. When we first attempt to sit with our breath, we encounter a very specific and often amusing hurdle: profound boredom. For a mind that is accustomed to high-speed chases, constant entertainment, and dramatic storytelling, the simple act of breathing in and breathing out feels agonizingly dull. The mind protests this lack of stimulation. Because it cannot find anything exciting to attach to, and because we are actively refusing to let it paint its usual anxious murals, the mind decides to shut down entirely. It slips into a sleeping mode. This is why it is incredibly common for people to fall fast asleep when they first begin to practice mindfulness or meditation. You might sit down with the best intentions, close your eyes, take a few breaths, and the next thing you know, a bell rings an hour later and you realize you have just had a wonderful nap. If this happens to you, you must meet yourself with a smile. This is an entirely normal experience for any beginner on the path to inner peace. There is absolutely nothing wrong with falling asleep. It is simply your nervous system reacting to a sudden drop in stimulation. As long as you can wake up and gently recognize, I was sleeping, you are still practicing. You are still learning about the nature of your own mind. The key is never to judge the sleepiness or the boredom, but simply to acknowledge it and agree to try again next time. Overcoming this sleepiness and building the capacity for true presence requires a deeply compassionate, incremental approach. We must treat our minds with the same infinite patience and boundless love that a parent gives to a learning child. Imagine a beautiful baby just learning to crawl. The baby sees a corner of the room that looks interesting, but you know that corner holds a dangerous hazard. You do not yell at the baby or punish it for its curiosity. You simply walk over, pick the baby up in your arms, bring it back to the safe center of the room, and softly say, "Stay here, baby. Don't go anywhere, it's dangerous." And of course, a moment later, the baby will undoubtedly crawl right back toward that same corner. Once again, you go over, pick the baby up, and bring it back. You do this 100 times a day with love in your heart, because you know the baby is just learning. Your mind is that precious baby. When your mind wanders off into dangerous anxieties or stressful imaginations, you must tenderly pick it up and bring it back to the breath. Stay here. Don't go. If you can only hold your focus for one single minute out of a whole hour, and spend the other 59 minutes wandering or sleeping, you must tell yourself, "It's okay, baby. You will be fine." Then, the next time you sit, you simply try to add one more minute. You build your concentration slowly, day by day, breath by breath. As you do this, your mind gradually learns that the present moment is a safe, beautiful place to reside, and the urge to run away begins to fade. This gradual building of concentration is not just an abstract spiritual exercise, it is the ultimate antidote to the epidemic of stress and burnout that plagues our modern lives. Think of the immense pressure placed on students, or the relentless demands placed on working professionals. We push ourselves to the absolute brink in the name of productivity and success. We stay up all night, our hair turning gray with worry, dark circles forming under our eyes, forcing ourselves to study or work until we are completely depleted. We force and force, believing that if we just push a little harder, we will finally achieve our goals. But this forcing is born of a profound lack of mindfulness. When we try to focus on a difficult task while our minds are simultaneously being pulled off track by 100 different anxious thoughts, the friction creates immense suffering. We become overwhelmed by the thinking itself, unable to absorb information or solve problems clearly. The more we force ourselves to push through this mental clutter, the more stressed we become. This chronic, unmanaged stress eventually calcifies into anxiety and depression, and ironically, we end up entirely unable to finish the very work we were stressing over. We break down because we have forgotten how to treat our minds with care. If we approach our daily tasks with a foundation of mindfulness, the experience is entirely transformed. When the mind is trained to stay focused and not chase every distracting worry, we can engage with our work from a place of clarity and ease, dramatically improving our outcomes without destroying our well-being in the process. The ultimate grace of mindfulness is learning to recognize the exact moment when forcing is no longer working, and having the courage to simply stop. When you feel the tension rising, when the stress is clouding your vision, a mindful awareness allows you to pause and say, "This is not going to work right now." Instead of pushing yourself further into despair, you grant yourself permission to step back. You take a moment for yourself. You take a deep, intentional breath. And then you take another. You take as many deep breaths as you need, remembering the beautiful truth that the air is completely free. As you draw that free, abundant air deep into your lungs, you consciously invite relaxation into your whole body and mind. This simple act of pausing and breathing has the power to entirely shift your mindset. It breaks the cycle of panic. The secret, however, is to engage in this breathing without any demands. You must not sit and breathe with the rigid expectation that you will instantly be cured of your stress, because expectation itself is a form of grasping. The more you expect a specific result, the more that peace will run away from you. You must simply practice for the sake of practicing. Breathe just to purify your mind in this one single moment. If you can spend just a few minutes gently anchored to your breath, asking for nothing in return, the results will naturally follow. You will find that when you finally return to your work, your studies, or your life, you are no longer operating from a place of frantic survival. You are relaxed, you are present, and you are finally at peace with the beautiful reality of right now. Would you like me to suggest a few practical, daily mindfulness exercises based on these concepts that you can easily incorporate into your morning routine?